All right, welcome to the show, our very first edition of V2. V2 stands for Virginia's Vanguards. It's a podcast to bring on Black and brown business owners here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. I'm a big fan of the saying that, you can't be it until you see it. And so I want to
Right.
make sure that, folks all around Virginia get to see it, right? You're going to see it here on V2 and get a chance to learn about some of these businesses that we have in the community that are doing amazing things. And so, my guest today is Marcus Taylor. Marcus, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
So, Marcus, I'm going to dive in a second, but the goal here is information and inspiration, right? So I'm going to ask you some questions that are really just frankly find out a little bit about how you got into this,
Mhm.
and a little bit about your story, and let the folks out there know who you are and what you're about. So tell me how you got into what you're doing at Ninth Wonder.
Well, it started, I'm originally, I'm a barber. So, a lot of my clients, they were frustrated with a lot of the products they were using. It wasn't working effectively and everything. They always ask me a million questions. Man, what should I use? What should, just wanting to be one better results. And, my grandmother, my great grandmother, she had this countrified oil that she used to use on us because we were all ashy kids. We had eczema. Man, we put it in our hair, we put it on our skin, everything. But she had this oil that she used all natural. She used all kind of, rosemary and everything in it. And she also used lard. And I didn't want to use lard, so so I took her formula and tweaked it. My grandma, my great grandma passed in 97 and
Okay.
nobody in the family ever picked it up. So I said, man, you know what used to work on my hair and skin, man, when I go to grandma's house, she used to use and stuff. And, so I took it and I refined it and, made it more palatable, made it not smell like bacon grease,
That,
and,
yep.
yeah, so, I just perfected that and, that was my first product, revitalizing oil. That was the oil, and it started there, man.
So you were selling it to your clients, right? The folks coming to the barbershop.
Initially, I wasn't even selling it. I was just using it on them. And then people
Oh,
started saying, "Hey, man, let me buy it. I want to buy some." So I'm like, "All right, well," I started selling it to them, and then it, they came with more ideas. They're like, "Hey, man, I got an issue with, you know, uh." You ever think about making something for waves, wave cream or wave pomade or something? So I made a wave pomade. And then, hey man, what about a conditioner, for my daughter? So I made that. And then it just, I started studying different products and and formulas and, took courses with Oil of Olay and all these different brands and, it grew out
yeah.
of control. Yeah.
That's so really your start it's gonna sound funny the word that your start was really organic. Like,
Yeah.
you're using it for your clients and they're like, wait a second, this is real, like this is really good. Can I get this, to take home with me?
Right. I, um, I'm a believer that, for a long time, I tried to force my own way in my life. I tried doing a lot of different business ventures and different things and everything. And, certain certain things just remained in my life, like barbering. I could never get away from barbering. Everybody they won't let me stop cutting hair. So no matter what I do, I go to school. I got my architectural engineering degree, all of that stuff. They're like, no, I still need a haircut, bro. So, um, I believe it's one of the things I was called to do. I make people feel good. I give confidence. Uh, I have a new hoodie I just made for myself. It says Hope Dealer, right? But
Yeah, yeah.
it crosses out the D
Mm-hmm.
because we all got a past, and
Right.
so it says it's is a H over top of the D that says Hope Dip. And I'm big on giving hope, and I believe that I was called to do it, man. And I just started following that path, the things that God put in front of me. And I just started doing it and everything just started coming together all of a sudden, you know?
Well, I love it because, I mean, I've met a lot of entrepreneurs, and so many of them are out there looking for ideas. Like you said, like you're trying to force it, but in your situation, you were like, it found you basically, right? Like you were just doing stuff
hmm
to help people that were coming to you. And next thing you know, like it literally found you, like the business found you.
we all have a superpower. Now we don't all admit, we don't initially all like what our talents are. We want a
Right.
cooler talent. Some of us, we want to be basketball players and all of that. We want the cool talents. Nobody want to be the guy who can clean a house better than everybody. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
So nobody, but, if you're organic and you're true to yourself, everything you need is already given. It's right there in front of you. Just take advantage of it.
Yeah. So, a lot of times when folks are starting a business, you know, financing is an issue, like figuring out, okay, how am I going to, get money on board here so that I can expand the basic thing that I'm trying to do. Was that an issue for you, or because of the way it developed, was that something that wasn't as big of a constraint?
It'll always be an issue in business. Initially, it'll be an issue in the beginning, expansion and growing and stuff like that. But for me, um, I took a little gamble. Um, I started with 5 bottles of oil. It cost me about $25 to produce.
Okay.
5 bottles. And I did a perpetual investment plan, like investment scheme, meaning I didn't spend any of my money. I took all the money that I made and I went from 5 bottles to 10, from 10 to 20, from 20 to 40, from 40.
Okay.
All of the money I just kept reinvesting back into the business.
That's what I was going
So,
to ask you. Yeah.
so I
Hmm.
grew it. I really got it from the mud. Like I really, I went from my first year, I ended up investing $4,500. I only made 1,000 profit.
Okay.
So
Okay.
total revenue was about 5,500, 50, almost 5,600. The
Okay.
next year I invested, uh, I invested about 6 grand and I made 16,700. The third year I invested 12 grand. I made 48,000. This
Okay.
year I invested 20. I made 86,000.
Right.
So,
Right.
so, that was the thing. Also in the beginning, hmm, I just be transparent.
I was going to say, tell, 'cause I know the story, but
Yeah.
if you're comfortable, go ahead and tell it.
So, I was in the street and, my friend of mine, he went down. He got locked up. He was going down. And, I remember one of the cops, he came up to me. He was like, "Hey," knew my name and everything. I was like, he said, "Yeah, we're not looking for you, but if you keep doing what you're doing, we will be." So that day I decided I was done. That was 2015, I think. I was like, I'm done. I'm through, right? Washing my hands. Whatever you owed me in the street, keep it, right? So
Wow.
I took the money I had. I had enough money for what is known as, in the street is known as a 9 piece.
Hmm.
Anybody who's from that life, they know what I'm talking about. I had enough money. I mean, that's all I had left was a 9 piece.
Yeah.
Took that 9 piece, I got it off, and I took that money and I built my brand. I started pouring a little bit into it at a time, a little bit into it, more and more and more. And, I built something positive from a negative, you know.
So I got to ask you then, is the name Ninth Wonder from how you got it out the mud?
That's where the 9 came from. Also, in
Hmm.
the, phonetic, numerical, if you know, if anybody's familiar with the NG Nation of Gods and Earths, the number 9 represents born or rebirth.
Yeah.
Um, so that fell right into it, right? Also, for some reason, my lucky number is 9. I don't know
I
why, right?
love it. Love it.
And, the number 9, I took that 9, like I said, from that 9 piece that I had, and it just organically fell together. And there's the word again, organically, because when I first started, I had good looks, hair, and accessories. Somebody ran off with that name, did something crazy with it. So I changed the name to better looks, hair, and accessories.
Yeah.
No, better image, hair, and accessories. And then, I ended up leaving that in Texas. I didn't copyright or anything. So I was like, man, you know what? This thing keeps calling me back. Let me go ahead and take it seriously. And the last name that stuck with me was Ninth Wonder. And that 9 came from that transformation of that 9.
Love it. I love it. I mean, there's so many things about that, right? One, I, pretty much every entrepreneur can point to some moment in time where like there's a choice made in terms of taking a leap, right?
Crossroads.
Like, yeah, you're at a crossroad, you're like, I I think I'm gonna shoot my shot. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Hey, it's one or the other. Either, listen,
You
you
keep
do
doing
or
what you're
you don't.
doing.
You know what's going to come from it. Like
Yeah,
when you're in the street, you're in that game, in that lifestyle. Um, it's only one or two ways. It's not like the movies, man. It's like
hmm,
either you're going to jail or you're going to die. Or if not, something negative is going to happen. Like you, you end up on the stuff or
yeah,
you end up in jail for it or you end up in jail of doing something to somebody, or it's never a positive. It's very few positives out of that. The
yeah,
only positive way to get the transition from that is to turn into something else. That's the only
hmm,
way out of it. Only way. If you keep doing
100%.
it, you're going down. You're going to jail.
Yeah,
You're going down, so
100%.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you already like gave us a little, you like walked us through the growth of your business so far, right?
Hmm.
And, and it sounds like you've got at this point probably a pretty steady client base that you're
Hmm.
trying to expand. So what are some of the things that you're doing to, obviously keep the folks that you got happy, but also, expand that client base and your business?
So what I had to learn is, in life, not just business, but in life, quality always beats quantity.
Hmm.
So at one time I was trying to hoard clients. I'm like, oh, let me get more and more. Let me see how many clients I could get. And that didn't work so well. It thins you out. It's just a lot. The best way to do it is you treat every client like your only client, every
Yeah.
customer like your only customer. And they tell more customers and then they tell more customers. So I had to learn something called gratitude. I don't
Yeah.
care if I had 5 customers or 500. I had to have gratitude in the beginning for those 5 customers, right?
Hmm.
And ironically, it was the same lesson I learned in the street when I only had 5 or 10 customers. And I'm like, man, I want to get that whole block over there. I want to do this. No, 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 no. You lock in with these 10 people and you sell your products, my hair cream or whatever it is you sell to them, and they tell you what they like and what they don't like and what they like better and what could be better and what you should. And you take that as your focus group, which I did.
Yeah.
And, I continued to build. I built a community.
Hmm.
On Facebook, I actually have a group where I built a community where people who use Ninth Wonder products, they talk to each other and they buy and they support.
Yeah.
And, that was the best way for me, make everybody special.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great lesson. I think, I know for me personally with my business, we've grown quite a bit. And the reminder that I give to my team is, you know, every business is a relationship business. Like I don't care what the product or the service or whatever it is,
Hmm.
it's a relationship business. And so,
All about.
from the moment that they contact you, start asking questions to, to that point in time where, okay, they are your client, you're building a relationship with that individual that, you know, that could that one person could be the one, right? They could be the person that's like your biggest evangelist, your big, oh my goodness, like, you got to use so and so, right? And that's your marketing, right? Like that's your marketing. So yeah, I'm totally on board with what you're talking about
One,
because we try to preach that on, in our business.
and one thing I learned, right? In today's climate and in business as a whole, but in today's climate especially, you need women.
Yeah.
You need
They
women.
they hold the checkbook, bro.
Listen,
They
the
hold the
men,
checkbook.
the if you look throughout history, I'm a reader, I'm a history buff, 48 Laws of Power, Tribe, different books I've read and I keep going back and rereading. The Bible.
Yeah.
You go throughout history and you look at all the kings, most of them had their head cut off. By who? That dude beside them. It's always that
Right.
dude, right? The
Right.
women,
Right.
they just want to live the lifestyle. They want to be a part of something, something solid, something that's going to be
Something
there for them,
meaningful. Something
something
meaningful.
meaningful, right?
Yeah.
If you get these women on your side, I don't care if you out here selling toilet paper, used toilet paper.
Yeah.
You can sell, if you get these women on your side, you can sell used toilet paper, man.
Yes,
So
indeed.
I found out like, my female cousins, um, aunts, my cousins' wives and sisters and all of them, invaluable, man. Invaluable. I'm telling you, like, I can't say enough about them. Shout out to
Yeah.
my cousin Shamika. I can't say enough about him, man. For real.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, at some point, um, you know, I think there's so much growth that there's only so much growth you can do um, in terms of the referral, the word of mouth, and everything else. Um, what kind of strategies have you thought about in terms of growing still organically, but not spending crazy money, right? Let's be honest. Like if you start doing certain types of marketing, that's big dollars. So is it social media? Is it like what are you thinking in terms of like how to let people know what you're doing, but still bringing your authentic self into that?
So marketing is more important than the product in business. You
Hmm.
can sell, your product can be trash. It's all about your marketing.
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't say have a trash product, but, but, if you look at these big brands like, Carol's Daughter and all these other big hair brands or whatever, they go and they buy they go to the small guy. They come to me.
Yeah.
Numerous groups have contacted me and try to buy small brands. They'll buy small brands and brands that outshine theirs and they water it down so that it's on the same level as theirs. Because if you have one product that outshines everything else, um, it can kill, and you own the other brand. It'll kill the
Hmm.
sales of the other brand. So, what I do, I leverage social media a lot, right?
Yeah.
Um, I didn't want to be a guy who wanted to show my face and be upfront because the background I come from. So I had
Hmm.
to realize, you're not in that lifestyle anymore. That's not who you are anymore, brother. So, I had to reinvent myself through using a few friends and watching some other people who, they do the social media. I have to go and I show my face at certain events that I wouldn't go to. Like, I was at the Christmas gala at Main Street Station,
Yeah.
just to show my face, rub elbows with people, make people familiar. Um, and, really, like I said, with social media, I do my own commercials. Actually, I'm doing a commercial Sunday for a Valentine's Day products is coming out or whatever. So,
Yeah.
um,
And that's
yeah,
gonna be on
social,
like Facebook and IG. Is that
it'll be
yeah?
everywhere. Facebook,
Hmm.
IG, Etsy, Amazon, TikTok,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
YouTube. Yeah, it's everywhere. So, um, social media right now is the key. It's the way we connect right now.
Yeah.
Um, and it has done a lot for me. It's done a lot for me.
So it sounds though like there was a mental shift for you though, right? Like, you had to sort of wrap your mind around the fact that like I need to be out front. I need to be me. Like you didn't want to be out there faking the funk or
Hmm.
anything like that. I mean, you
Right,
need to show this is Marcus Taylor. Like whether you
right,
see me on the street or you see me here, at the shop.
right.
But it sounded like you had to have that like that mental shift in terms of how you're thinking about your business and growing it.
That was the most important and most humbling thing. Um, and at the same time, it was empowering because the normal anyone who knows me, I'm not a real, I'm funny, I'm cool. People think I'm hilarious, right? I can make anybody laugh, right? So
Yeah,
I'm good with people, but like at the same time, I never really, like I said, I've never really wanted to be out front and everything, but the mental shift, like you said, it made me a lot more positive. Um, it made me grow up a lot of growing up that I didn't know I needed to be
yeah,
doing.
hmm
Yeah, I learned a lot about myself throughout this whole journey. And, it also gave me a self-esteem to realize that like, boy, you can do anything. Like I'm Christian. Look, I can play basketball.
yeah.
I can play football. I can draw. I can rap. I can sing a little bit. I can dance. I'm like,
You're like a
yo,
Renaissance man, basically,
I
right?
can do, I can build, I can do anything. And it's all about, like you said, it's all about mindset. And I preach that when I go to these different schools and I speak to kids at schools and everything. And, I tell them it's all about mindset. And these kids, like, they call me. Like some of
Yeah.
them, I explain to them about branding and, well, I don't have a brand. I said, what's your name? Oh, my name is Elliot. That's your brand, Elliot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so I explained all of that to them and yeah,
Well, I mean, I love that you introduced the mindset thing. That for me personally is like foundational, right? If your mind isn't right or in the right place,
feet can't
you're not
follow.
gonna, yeah, you're not gonna accomplish anything. I've been there. Like I've been in the place where my mind wasn't right, and it showed up in how I was running my business and my personal life and
Hmm.
everything. And yet, you know, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable as a business owner, right? Like the fact that you were like, hey, I need to be over here doing this social, like I need to put myself out there. Like you had to be comfortable being uncomfortable in order to grow.
So let me tell you about what life did to me. Life has never allowed me comfortability.
Hmm.
I'm from, I'm from the projects. Like, the
Yeah,
poor kid. And I mean, I mean, you have projects and then you have the people who are in the projects amongst the poor people who are the poorest. I was
yeah,
the poorest of the poorest people.
hmm
So I always had to make a way. I had to sometimes find clothes and from the Salvation Army and then iron them and make them look new. And I always
yeah,
had to like do a little more. I had, when we running a mile, I have to run 2 extra laps to catch up. I was
yeah,
always that kid and I ended up being ahead. So life has never allowed me the option of being comfortable. So I became comfortable with being uncomfortable, so much so that I kind of enjoy pain a little bit, where I like to run and work out and like to, if I
yeah,
don't feel
yeah.
that
You like to push,
tightness,
like push.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like to feel that, right? So I was always, comfortable in uncomfortable spaces and it made me tough. And, that toughness is um, what made me able to persevere certain things. And, so now I have to remind myself that to relax sometimes.
Mm.
Like yesterday, I just took time out and I went and got a massage. I went and got me something to eat, went and picked up a few cigars and I just
Yeah.
hung out all yesterday,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'm retired Army. So,
Okay.
I retired Army. I'm a landlord, I rent a property. I have a lot of stuff going and where I have to remind myself to actually enjoy it because I'm comfortable being in comfortable spaces so much that
Hmm.
I kind of like being in that space. You know,
Well, it
makes me
sounds like
feel
you
like I'm
get,
doing something.
yeah, it sounds like you get energy from it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like you get energy from it, and that's not normal. That's very much like an
right,
entrepreneur, like makeup, like that. That's how we are, right? We're
right.
comfortable in that space.
I say
So
entrepreneur, entrepreneur.
well, I'm hearing different hustles, right, that you have in addition to Ninth Wonder, but this is your main thing, right? This is the bread and butter.
Um, this is my baby, I'll say. This is
Okay.
my biggest project. The other things were a lot more simple. Like, I do, architectural plans,
Okay.
um, this layouts and building designs and stuff like that. Um, building scheduling, stuff like that. I do, like I said, the rental properties or whatever. That's easy. I don't have to do anything. Money just
Yeah.
comes in. Barbering is just something I enjoy doing. Like I
I
said,
mean,
retired army.
Marcus, are you sure you're not Jamaican or something like that? Because you got
A
like
little
10
bit.
jobs.
No, I'm serious. My family, a little bit down the line, like my grandmother and one of them, they're Jamaican.
See, I was
Seriously.
joking, but now you're like, no, I'm really serious. Like I
Yeah.
am Jamaican. Now it's making a lot more sense because I
Yeah.
have a Jamaican brother-in-law. In fact, I'm probably gonna have him on the podcast here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And he's got like, I don't know how many jobs he's got, but
It comes from deeper than that though. That's that Nigerian blood. So if you ever meet those Nigerians, they do
Very business
everything.
minded.
He's a,
Very
he's a
business
doctor,
minded.
a doctor, a garbage man. Yeah. Yeah.
All of that.
And now a word from our sponsor.
This is Christian Simpson, and I'm with Virginia Injury Law. We're the proud sponsors of V2, Virginia's Vanguards, and we are indeed the largest black owned personal injury firm in Virginia. Look us up at 1 800 CRASH VA or crashva.com, and you can find me online at Call Christian VA. So I want to switch gears just a little bit and talk or ask you about um, the mentorship because you definitely have the entrepreneurial sort of DNA, right? I just
Hmm.
hearing all these different things that you're involved in, different ways that you can, keep money flowing.
Hmm.
But all of us, in business at some point are thinking, what don't I know out there, right? What is it that I need to learn in order to, you know, to do better at what I'm doing? Have you found mentors? Have you found folks out there that have been able to help you, level up your game in understanding how business works?
So what I do is, I glean from from different, assets, from different entities. I glean from them, right? So, um, what I'm planning to do, like literally, I'm literally planning right now on my
Hmm.
computer. I'm putting together a conglomerate where, of different businesses with people who do marketing and this guy who does, graphic design and this person who does apparel. And I'm putting together a conglomerate so that we can all use each other resources and make money off of each other.
Yeah.
Um, but I also do that with information. I have a few friends who are in marketing, who I get ideas from. As a matter of fact, he sent me a message last night on Instagram. Hey,
Hmm.
Ninth one of the premium products needs to do this. And, one of my closest friends, he was in, sociology at a sociology major at Virginia Union. He was the valedictorian last year,
Nice.
and he helps me understand the way people's mind think. I mean, the way their mind works, so that I can help strategize, so they can help me strategize in marketing and sales and how to go at a customer. Also a friend of mine in a barbershop, his name's James. We call him Buddy. I take a lot from him. Um, as far as like running a barbershop or running a business or whatever. take a lot of things I learned from him. So to answer your question, it's not one person. I learned something from everybody, right? And
Yep. Love it.
the the most important thing that I learned, I mean, even from the bad businessmen, I learned something from. I learned a lot from from what I was doing previously.
Sure.
And
Sure.
you'd be surprised. It works. It's cookie cutter. It works perfectly on the legal side. Everything I learned over there
Yeah.
on that side, it works perfectly on this side. So I
Business is
think I
business.
take
Like,
business
like
is
let's keep
business.
it real. Business is business. You got to figure out, there's three things, right? There's marketing and sales, right? So how you let people know what you're doing.
Hmm.
There's delivering on that, the operations,
Hmm.
like, okay, this is how you deliver the product or the service, and then there's
Hmm.
the money.
Right.
That's it. In every business,
It,
it's the same three things.
it's the same thing, right? So I'll say what I did is I pull from experience. I also sometimes I may have a conversation with someone who has nothing to do with, it doesn't have anything to do with business, but somehow I can pull something from it that will help me in my business
Like a concept or something like that.
concept. And the
Yeah.
number one thing is for me is to keep going. Just keep going.
So you didn't phrase it this way, but I'm gonna phrase it how I heard it, right? And that is, you're always open to learning, right?
Yeah, always.
The like and whether it's from somebody who has more experience than you, or it's somebody that literally there's this one thing that they might be able to provide you in terms of information that can be helpful to you. But the key is that you're open, like your mind is open
Must be
to
open.
okay, wow, I got to add that to my
You
toolkit,
can,
right?
you cannot be arrogant.
You'll get
You
humbled
can't
quick,
be
fast, in a hurry.
arrogant. So if you go to like, you look at these music execs and everything, when they go and they're looking for clients, I mean, they're looking for new artists and stuff like that. Most of these people they don't have any talent. They just have the money. They have the connections and everything. So
Yeah.
what they would do is they will go and they're open minded to whatever is new. It's like, okay, well, they know that they don't know everything.
Hmm.
So they glean, they take pieces from everywhere. You know, you have to remain open. You got to be a sponge.
Yeah, man, I co-sign that 100% because I've made a habit of talking to people who are more successful than me, and what I found that's amazing, right? Two things. One, they're willing to share exactly how they got to where they're at,
Yep.
like the whole blueprint. You know, like it's not like some big secret. They're like, no, no, no. I'll tell you exactly what I did.
Hmm.
And then the second thing is what we're just talking about. Like they're always super open to new stuff that they may not know about because there's
Yep.
that humility of, hey, you know what? I don't know it all. Like, stuff is always changing, and maybe I thought I had the answer, but business will look, it'll smack you in the face with a quickness if you think you figured it all out, right? So, these people that are super successful, they know you have to be humble about it. You got to be looking and open and learning all the time.
And in today's society, things are changing so fast. I mean, I might be in the algorithm this week on Instagram or TikTok and I got it together. And then next week, my
Yeah.
video is getting like 3 likes. I'm like, wait a minute. You know, things is changing so fast. You have to be on it. So now I have a guy, a buddy of mine, Rashawn, who manages my Instagram and everything. So he
Yeah.
understands the algorithm and all of that stuff. So I let him do that. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you need people who believe in you around you. You can't have the people around you have to believe in you. And I believe that, people say, oh, well, you don't, your family won't support you like a stranger will. Listen, support is love. and love is support. That's the way I look at it. People say if
Yeah.
your family doesn't support you, don't take it personally. I take it personally because you want me to support you, and you know how important this is to me.
Yeah.
And your lack of support shows me that it feels like a lack of love to me because,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
I look at support as love and love as support, so
So I'm glad you brought this up, and I should have brought it up early. But what does your team look like, right? Like who's on your team?
So I'm constantly shifting and adding and new, new. I'm I'm having tryouts,
Okay.
so because it's important to have the right people around you. So uh first there's God. Um, I pray a lot because I still haven't figured out why I'm still here or how I even got how I'm still here, you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, first is God. Then of course there's me, but I have like my friend Jay, Massenberg, smart guy. He's a smart guy when it comes to marketing and in life, period. Um, my buddy Malik, the one from Virginia Union, great support guy, always giving good advice. Rashawn, he's, another guy. He's in the marketing and, promotion, social media and everything. I have my cousin Asante, who whenever I need something in production done, he'll come around and he'll make sure that, you know, um, if I need him to help me pack orders or if I need him to, go produce this right here, get those products done or whatever, he'll go do it. Um, and, right now that's pretty much it right now. Until I get my actual facility, which I'm aiming towards in June. Once I get the facility, I have more space and
Yeah.
then I could bring in all the entities that I need, graphic design. I've been doing all the graphic designs, all this myself. I made this myself. I did that. Like, so
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're a small business owner, you have to do every single thing
you need eight
just well
arms.
enough, just well enough for you to get by. Like
Right.
at some point, as you level up, you can hand things off. But in the beginning, I made I'm almost embarrassed, but I made our first website. Like like my firm is a multi-million-dollar firm now, but back then it wasn't, right? So
hmm
I made the website. So
I made my website. Like
I
I
mean,
made, so
you got to
now I'm
do
looking,
every single thing, right? Like
so
everything.
now I'm looking to have it integrated to a different platform. But, I built that website. It took me about 3 months to get it perfect, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It took me about 3 months to get it how I needed it. And, yeah, I haven't, every once in a while I'll go and switch some stuff around, add some stuff, take some stuff. I try not to too much.
It's time
You know?
consuming, but again, like small business owner, you have to you don't have to be great at it. You just got to be good enough, right? Just
hmm
good enough to get it, raised up and to keep your business moving. So talk to us a little bit about what the coming plans are. You mentioned getting a facility, and that's for production. I think I heard is that
hmm
correct? But yeah, just generally speaking, like what's next for Ninth Wonder?
So, the next phases of Ninth Wonder is, we're planning to, like I said, with the facility so that we can, have space and everything there for production because production is becoming a monster right now and there's a high demand. Um, Also, we are planning a storefront slash salon barbershop all together, right?
Okay,
Where you can come, you can buy products, you can get them used on you, services and stuff like that. And down the line, I'm planning to put this architectural engineering degree to more in the service and with Ninth Wonder Solutions.
okay,
So doing foundation work, building homes, small homes and things like that. That's a down the line goal. But
okay.
what's next for us right now is expansion, deeper into the communities, getting more people involved, creating more jobs, stuff like that.
No, I love to hear it. I love to hear it. And for the purpose of this podcast, which is to show the success stories of Black and Brown business owners, to hear your vision and how it connects, very much to the communities that we all serve, is inspirational for me. I think it'll be
Hmm.
inspirational for our listeners as well. So I'm excited about where you're going. You've already, done a bunch of things that I think it sounds like you didn't even realize you'd be able to accomplish. But when you've got big dreams, hey, big things happen.
Hmm.
So I got a wild card question for you here. We're gonna sort of move here to towards the end of our time together. And this is one that I think you'll like this one. I got like three wild card questions. We're gonna do this at the end of at the end of each session with our business owners. This one I got for you is an easy one, right? What does a perfect day look like for Marcus Taylor?
Oh
How does
man,
that day
perfect,
start and how does it end? Give me your perfect day.
perfect, perfect day. I wake up, like I said, I wake up, I pray, um, I go, do my hygiene. I get to the gym perfectly at 5 o'clock. I
Ooh,
get
early
my
riser. I
full,
like it.
yeah, I get up at 5, I get up at 4:30 every morning anyway. So I
Mm-hmm.
get in the gym perfectly 5 o'clock. There's no one there. It's my perfect day.
That is
Not a
nice.
thousand people. There's no one there. I get my hour in. Nobody sitting on the watching their phone or nothing. I get my full workout in. Um, I have my protein shake. I get to my office. I got 1,000 orders.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, um, I got all the inventory and stuff done. I don't need to do it. I have, my people, they come in, they packed everything up and they shipped it all out. And then I get to go and hang with my family and get a massage and go out to eat. And that's my perfect day, man. I don't ask for
Love it,
much.
love it. What are you eating? What are you eating on that
Oh,
purdy?
oh man, I'm chicken, anything chicken or
Okay.
sushi, anything. Listen,
Oh.
I love chicken front, upside down, backwards. I don't care how they do it, chicken. I love chicken. I love, like I said, sushi. I love salmon and all kinds of greens. Yeah, that's my
season
stuff.
season right though. It's got to be seasoned right.
It gotta be seasoned, right? It gotta
Yeah.
be, man. You put it on that wood plank, slap it on the grill,
Yeah.
let it smoke a little bit, let it get dark pink on the outside, and yeah,
You
man.
already know. You already know.
Right.
I love it. I love it. So Marcus, let folks out there know how they can connect with you, whether it's on, and we'll in production we'll try to make sure we pop it up on the screen too when we
Oh,
put everything together. But let them know how to get a hold of you, whether it's your website, whether it's your handles on social, etc.
all right, everybody. I'm Marcus Taylor. You call me Mr. Ninth Wonder since everybody in Richmond wants to call me Mr. Ninth Wonder now. Um, you can find me on all platforms. We on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and anything else you can think of, under Ninth Wonder underscore products. The website is www.ninthwonderhaircare.com. You can catch me in Richmond. We're located at 1134 North 25th Street, Richmond, Virginia, 23223. Um, we're everywhere, man. You can Walmart.com. You pop up on Amazon. We're on Amazon. Like I said, we're on Etsy. I prefer you come to our website organically because then we can help you out with the pricing. But but come to us organically. Go visit Ninth Wonder, man. Come experience the wonder.
Yeah, and I'm gonna co-sign on that one as well. Marcus and I we connected at Stone Soul last year. We
Hot
both
boy.
yeah. It was hot. We was sweating. I'm telling you what, it was crazy. It was crazy. I couldn't
That
drink enough. I had Gatorade. I had water. I had all of it, but it was blazing. but we had some, we had some mutual connections there that we talked about. Some folks that work with you, they had somebody that had worked at my law firm, and
Hmm.
so it was a lot of fun finding out about your journey at that time. And I told you I'd get
Yeah.
you on this. I told you at that time, I was like, man, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you
start this
did.
podcast. I'm gonna get you on. And so, great to have you as our very first guest. Great to hear about all the things that you're doing currently, that you plan to do, and just really a blessing to hear your story.
Cool.
All right, Mark, you take care, buddy.
All right, man. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That's a wrap on today's episode of V2, where we celebrate the grit, innovation, and triumphs of minority entrepreneurs. A huge thank you to our guests today for sharing their journey and wisdom with us. Your story is truly inspiring. If you love this conversation, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs that extra push to chase their dreams. Remember, success isn't about where you start, but how determined you are to keep going. Your vision matters, your voice matters, so go build, create, and thrive. We'll see you next time on V2.